Dear viewers, in this video, as part of PMP exam preparation, we are discussing on Agile Practice Guide. In this specific video, we are focusing on lesson 5 of Agile Practice Guide. This is about delivering in an agile environment. So when we are going to implement agile approach, how we can deliver in an agile environment, that's the focus of this lesson. So first of all, we are talking about charter the project and the team. So project charter and team charter. Actually, the project charter explains why the project matters, what is the vision of this project, what are the objectives of the project, and why we are working for it, what are the purposes of this project. So, agile team actually require team norms and how to work. So, for that, we need a team charter. So how the team will be working, what will be their relationship, who will play what role. For these sort of things, we need a team charter. So a servant leader actually facilitates chartering process. A team can coalesce by working together, and the project charter is a great way to start working. In addition, team members may want to collaborate to understand how they will work together. So they will find the process and ways how they will work together. And from this project charter and team charter, benefits can be achieved from the chartering process by having team values, by working agreements from the ground rules, ground norms, and group norms, social interactions. So we should prepare social interaction norms, group norms, ground rules, some working environment, have a team values. So these will actually consist the team charter. So now I will be discussing on some agile practices. So I will discuss one by one. And in next slides, each slide will talk about one agile process practices. Number one is retrospective. Retrospective, actually, we learn from its previous work on the product and its processes. So we have already made some product. So from that we can learn something. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes themselves and adjust its behavior accordingly by combining with the previous system or process which were successful. After each iteration, or after each sprint, or after each release, or after each milestones, or each 2 weeks, retrospective can be held to understand the previous experience. So retrospective is not about blame game. It is actually time for the team to learn to improve themselves. So whatever good side in the previous experience, embrace them. If there are any mistakes or errors, revise it. So looking at the qualitative approaches, people's feelings, and quantitative measurements data, then using that data to find the root causes. So if there are any failures in the previous work, so evaluate them qualitatively, quantitatively, and then analyze them, find the root causes, and then try to solve it. So always consider limiting the number of actions items to team's capacity to address improvement. So each team has a limitation of capacity. So give them the duty or responsibilities or task of improvement as their capacity, not more than that. And now Number two is backlog preparation. What is backlog preparation? The backlog is the order list of all the work presented in the story form for a team. So there are many stories are coming from the stakeholders. So backlog are the list of stories actually. So no need to create all of the stories for entire project before the start. We can go for step by step. So work start only enough to understand the first release in broad brush strokes and then sufficient items for the next iteration. So before starting, just prepare for one iteration. After one delivery, after one iteration, then focus on next one. So in this way you can work. You cannot do all the plans for all the stories necessary for the whole work at the beginning. You cannot do that. So product owners actually might produce a product roadmap to show the anticipated sequence of deliverables over time. So after each delivery, make a retrospective meeting and then do it again. So backlog preparation means make the list of stories which is necessary for completing the task ahead in this moment. So for each iteration, it will be you will make a backlog preparation. So the product owner replans the roadmap based on what the team produces. Now the backlog refinement. What is it? In iteration-based agile, the product owner often works with the team to prepare some stories for the upcoming iteration during one or more sessions in the middle of the iteration. Just-in-time refinement for flow-based agile. Just-in-time refinement for flow-based agile. In flow-based agile, actually, when you face one situation, you will make the refinement. The team takes the next card of to-do column and discusses it. So many iteration-based agile teams uses time-boxed 1 hour discussion midway through the tweak iteration. In tweak iteration, you can make a 1 hour discussion for understanding the backlog. Number two is multiple refinement discussion can be held for iteration-based agile teams. And also teams can use this when they are new to the product area or the problem domain. So there are three cases. 1 hour discussion in tweak iteration, this is one type, or multiple refinement in agile by the agile teams in iteration based agile approach, and teams can use this when they are new to the product or the product area or the problem domain is new. However, there are some ways for the product owner to conduct backlog refinement or preparation. For that, actually they encourage team to work as a triad of developer, tester, business analyst, and product owner to discuss the story. And they present the overall story concept to the team and discuss and then refine as required. And they work with the team to explore or write the stories together. Stories are small enough so that they can be produced steady flow of the work and they can complete the story on time. So backlog refinement is similar to the backlog. So in the backlog, the list of stories, and backlog refinement, after each iteration, you will refine your backlog stories. And now the daily stand-up, you know that this is daily stand-up BT. So this is an approach to micro-commit to each other. So everyone comes in a decision meeting, they micro-commit to each other, they uncover their problems, and they ensure the work flows smoothly. And time box the stand up to no longer than 15 minutes. Normally, stand up meeting is only for 15 minutes. So here we can ask questions like, what did I completed already? What am I planning? What are my impediments? So these sort of questions actually help you to understand the present situation, whether you are ahead or behind. So one of the entry patterns typically seen in the stand-up is they become status meeting. They found is they come and go. They take as a status meeting that I am the uh, organizer of the meeting. I am the participants of this meeting, and they just come and go. This is called status meeting. No fruitful achievement there. Another anti-patterns set up are for realizing there are problems but not for solving. Everyone comes and they express their problems only. No solutions are there. So these two impediments are there. So we should not make any kind of status meetings. We should not share only problems. We also should offer the solutions. So stand-up meeting should be effective one. And teams runs their own stand-ups. When run well, stand-ups can be very helpful. Now the demonstration or reviews. Demonstration is important. In iteration-based agile, the team demonstrate all completed work items at the end of the iteration. After each of the iteration, they demonstrate the all completed work. In flow-based agile, the team demonstrate completed work when it is time to do so, like after deliverables, after a milestone, like that. Usually when enough features have accumulated into a set that is coherent. So a team that does not demonstrate or release cannot learn fast enough and is likely not adopting agile techniques. A team that does not demonstrate or release, they cannot learn fast enough, because if they do not demonstrate, they will not get the feedback. They cannot do the improvement. So this is not good. So we should demonstrate where whatever the team has already done, whatever we have the work product, and at least once in every 2 weeks, so that we can get the feedbacks to improve the product. And number 6 is planning for iteration based agile. For iteration based agile, we need some planning. What are they? Each team's capacity is different. Each product owner's typical story is also size also different. So when teams have a reduced capacity, they will only plan for work that meets that capacity. So as per the capacity of the team, you will give them the stories to perform with a specific time. So teams estimate what they can actually complete, which is a measure of capacity. So teams cannot predict with 100% certainty. When product owners make the stories smaller and teams see progress in the form of finished products, that's better. So do not plan just once in one single chart. Instead, agile teams plan a little, deliver little, learn little, and then replan. And in that manner, they work. Agile teams always plan a little, then deliver it, and take learning from it, and then replan for next iteration, next deliverables, and then again plan for little and deliver it, learn from it, and deliver it. So this way the process is going on. Number 7 is execution practices that help teams to deliver value. Execution practices. There are some practices that should be in the execution. If the team does not pay attention to quality, it will soon become impossible to release anything rapidly. So focus on the quality. So how can you do that? You can do a continuous integration. You can test, measure at all the levels. You can do a acceptance test driven development, ATDD. You can do test driven development, TDD, or you can make behavior driven development, BDD, or you can do spikes like time boxed research and experiments. So by using these techniques, you can actually deliver the value. And number 8 is how iterations and increments help deliver working product. Actually, iterations help team to create a cadence. It's a cadence for delivery and make kinds of feedback. So they demonstrate and they get feedback and they try to improve it. So retrospecting, daily stand-up meeting, evaluating themselves, improvement comes from this. So these are the ways that iteration and increments can help the working the product. Now 5.3 troubleshooting agile project challenges. In this part, we will tell some problems and we will give some solution. So in reality, you will face many kind of pain point and how to address them. So focus on the slide I'm showing you. This is the side of pain point. This column is pain point and this column is called solution or troubleshooting possibilities. Number one, you see that we have a problem of unclear purpose or mission or the team. You do not know what is your purpose or mission. In this case, you should make clear the purpose or the mission. You should read the mission, vision of the project. It's repeated, but actually you should read the charter, project charter, team charter. Then you will find the vision, mission of the project and values of the project. If you have unclear working agreements for the team, this is a problem. In that case, you should make an agile chartering for alignment, values, principles, and working agreement. You should make a agile chartering. If you have unclear team context, your team do not have context, clear context. In that case, you should agile chartering for context boundaries. You need to have committed assets and you need to have prospective analysis. If you have a problem of unclear requirements, you don't know what are the requirements exactly. So you should look into the product vision, product roadmap, specification, user story and impact mapping, product owner together to clarify the expectation, decompose roadmaps into backlog of smaller. If you face any kind of problem like poor user experience, this is your pain point. So what is the solution? User experience design practices included in the development team involve user early and often. So user experience design practices should be there. If you have inaccurate estimation, then focus on reduce story size by splitting stories. You have a big story, reduce it to make it very strict, clear, to the point. So that will help you to understand the estimation. So agile modeling, sorry, relative estimation can help you. Another pain point is unclear work assignments or work progress. So if you do not know what is your work assignments, that case self-manage your work. You can use Kanban board. You can make daily stand-up. If you have a problem of team struggles with obstacles, then a servant leader can help. Consider a coach. Escalate stories. If you face work delays or overrun due to insufficiently refined product backlog items, in that case, product owner and team workshop stories together can help. Create a definition of ready, DUR or definition of done for the stories. Splitting stories to use smaller stories. If you find defect in your process or product, you can do a refactoring, agile modeling, pervasive testing, automated code quality analysis, definition of done. If you face too much product complexity, in that case, apply the agile principle of simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. So use simplicity. These help reduce complexity. If you face slow or no improvement, capture no more than 3 items to improve at each retrospective. So ask the team leader to integrate those items. So one item is better, but not more than 3 items together. So all the team members will be focused on that 1, 2, or 3. If you face too much upfront work leading to rework, in that case, consider team spikes to learn. Measure the work in process during the beginning of the project and deliver value instead of designs. Shorten the iterations and robust definition of data can help here. If you face false starter, wasted effort, in that case, ask the product owner to become an integral part of the team. That helps a lot. If you face insufficiently ordered product backlog items, then rank with the value including cost of delay, dividend by duration, and other value models. So these will help to solve this problem. If you face rush or wet, uneven flow of work, in that case, plan to the team's capacity. Analyze your capacity and distribute work on that capacity. Stop multitasking. Work as pair or swan, few together, or mobbing all teams together. If you find impossible stakeholder demands, then servant leadership to work with this stakeholder can help. If you find slow or no improvement in the teamwork process, then capture no more than 3 items to improve at each perspective. Ask the servant leader to integrate those items. So we have discussed all these pain points and solution problems. You have to remember these kind of problems and what will be the solution. And these sort of problems comes in the exam. Measurements in agile projects. How you will measure your progress in the project in the agile projects. Actually, measurement metrics matter because they focus on customer value. One problem with status reporting is that the team's ability to predict completion or to use traffic light status to describe the project, because we cannot actually estimate exactly what is in reality. So we can assume, but sometimes it seems that we are on a track, but some issues, some left requirements or new stories may come, so it delays the process. So our traffic light does not work in a systematic manner what we have estimated. So that we call watermelon project. Outside green, but inside it's red. So we do not know what actually inside. So we should use the historical track record. What the previous deliverables, same deliverables, in what was the experience. So surrogate measurement such as percent done or less useful. Percentage is not enough in the agile approach. We need to have the similar project experience, similar project, similar product, similar deliverables. If we already delivered, we can compare it. So empirical measurement such as finished feature is the measurement metrics. That's better, because if same feature we have already delivered, we can implement it. We know what was happened before, because each feature is different. Each iteration will be different in agile approach. So qualitative measures such as ethics, value also important in agile metrics measurement. So how the agile teams actually measure results? There are many ways. Agile favors empirical and value-based measurement instead of predictive measurement. In the predictive approach, actually we measure predictive manner. We measure with previous data, but in agile approach, actually each case is different. So not earned value, not ROI. Agile is based on working products or demonstrable value to customer. So what we already have, we have implemented in terms of feature or stories, and how we have demonstrated what was the feedback, that actually matters. So smaller the chunk of work, the more likely people are to deliver it. So learning while delivering value. So split the work in a smaller chunk, complete it and go for next one, complete it and go for next one, and each iteration in each delivery have the feedback and try to improve it. So learning while delivering value. Once the team establishes reliable velocity, velocity means average stories or story points per iteration. In each iteration, how many stories you have completed, average story is called velocity. So the average cycle time. Cycle time means the team can predict how much longer the project will take. You should focus on. If the team averages 50 story points per iteration, this is an example. If the team averages 50 story points per iteration and the team estimate there are about another 500 points remaining, the team estimate it has about 10 iteration remaining, because in each iteration 50, so divide 500 by 50, you will have 10 iteration. So in each iteration you will have 50, in total in 10 iteration it will be 500. So this is an estimation from the previous experience, because the previous one you have completed 50 stories in one iteration. Or another example we can give, if the team averages a cycle time of 3 days per story, you need 3 days for one story, then there are 30 remaining story. So if you have 30 remaining story, then 3 into 30, it will be 90 business days, because you need 3 days for one story. So for 30 story, you need 3 into 30, 90 days for completing. So this way you can actually measure the days schedule. There are some more options too. For example, burn down chart. Burn down chart is actually story points remaining, how much you have remained to complete. So how many stories already remained. Remaining part is burn down chart. Down chart. Team become dispirited and rush to complete because they are behind, so they rush to complete, sometimes without meeting acceptance criteria. So actually, burn down shows the effect of team members multitasking, stories that are too large, or team members out of the office. So these are the reasons of burn down chart. On the other hand, burn up chart, story points completed. It shows how many stories you have completed already. So it helps the team to proceed to the next piece of work. So you should see the velocity. Velocity means the sum of the story point size for the feature actually completed in each iteration. So in an average, how many stories you have completed in each iteration is called the velocity. So in flow-based agile teams, we should use different measurements. For example, lead time. Lead time means the total time it takes from the beginning to the closing, completing the story. That's called the lead time. And cycle time is actually it has started and the procedure is continuing, not completed, continuing the process. So that's called the cycle time. And response time, that means the item is actually waiting to go for the work, still not started work, just waiting for starting the work. This is in the QE. That's called the response time. So we should understand this lead time, cycle time, response time, velocity, burn up chart, burn down chart to measure the agile approach. So can you get me? Lead time is from the starting from the Q point to the completing time. The whole time is called the lead time. On the other hand, cycle time is the task is started but still continuing, not completed. So before completing, the whole time is this time is called the cycle time. A response time, the work is not started, still it is in the queue, in the line. It will be started. So before it started, it's called the response time. So you can see some figures to understand. Look at this slide here. This is actually, you see, this is the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. This way it's increasing. This is time. And this is the story points you are completing. So this is called actually burn down chart. And this is actually showing the story points remaining. So this part is remaining. This is the planned, you should have gone to this way, but you are in this part, so it's remaining. So story points remaining are this part. Okay, after 3 days actually you are behind. The beginning it was okay, but after 3 days you are actually behind, it's remaining. On the other hand, if you see, this is called burn up chart. Burn up chart, same measurement, day and story points, but it's going up. Here we are showing the story points done. This one is done. So story points done. This one is done. So we should have gone to this point, but actually we are behind. This part is done already. So this is remaining. You see, if you see this Kanban board, from here also we can find the lead time and cycle time. So this is 5 column here. If you work ready, this part, development unit test here, development done here, system test here, and done, completed here. So after each of the tasks you have completed, put this one here and put this one here. So from all these tasks we have developed only 3, then development done only 2, then system test done only 2, and completely done 2. So from starting to the last point, that's called the cycle time. Now this is called the lead time. From the closing, starting to the closing, this is called lead time. But is not, when not completed from here to here, it's called the cycle time. But from the beginning to the end, if everything completed, then this whole time is called lead time. But the one which are not started, these are not started, only here, this is called response time. They are in the queue, not started. This is the response time. Another chart we are showing here, this is called, you see that feature chart. How many feature you have completed. So this is the vertical line, you have features. In the horizontal line you have time. So time goes, the feature are completed. So this one, number of features remaining, this part, the number of features remaining, and this part, number of features completed, this part. So number of features completed and this part, and this one, total number of features. Actually this one we should be completing ultimately. Our focus dream is this one, number of features to complete. And another one, this is called product backlog burn up chart. Product backlog burn up chart. Actually, the product backlog burn up chart shows completed work compared to the total expected work at interval, milestone, or iteration. So this is our expected. We have expected that we can complete this part, but actually we are running behind. We are here. So for each iteration, you can see you should be there, but you are here. You should be there, you are here. You should be there, you are here. So you are comparing your present position and your dream position. So the product backlog burn-up chart shows completed work compared to the total expected work. This is completed work, and this is actually expected work. So we are behind here. Another chart showing the cost variances and schedule variances, and SPI, CPI we can measure from here. So in this slide you can see that actually this part, this is the actual cost you have spent, this the fat one, actual cost, and this one, the thin line, this one actually called planned value. We are planned for this one. And earned value, we actually earned up to this black one. We have earned this one. So you see the cost variance, because we have earned this one, earned value, but planned here. So this gap is called cost variance. On the other hand, schedule should be there, this part, but actually we are here. So this part is called schedule variance. So SPI is a complete feature by planned features, and CPI is earned value by actual cost. So from this sort of figure, you can understand where the project position. In Agile team measure results. Traditional EBM metrics like Schedule Performance Index (SPI) and Cost Performance Index can be easily translated into Agile terms. For example, you see one example here. If the team plan to complete 30 story points in an iteration, in one iteration, 30 story, but only completed 25, then SPI should be the 25 divided by 30.83. That means the team is working at only 83% of the rate planned. So it's not 100%, it's behind the schedule. On the other hand, likewise CPI, cost performance index, is the earned value, completed feature value to date divided by the actual cost to date. So if you divide EV by divided by the actual cost SC, you will find the earned value. What is that? For example, in 2.2 million divided by 2.8 million, 0.79. This means a result of only 79% on the dollar compared to plan. But of course, this means that the prediction is still correct. So by finding the SPI, Schedule Performance Index, or CPI, Cost Performance Index, you can understand where is your positions. This is another figure where you can find the cycle time, lead time, and response time. You see that you have not this is the completed task. This part is completed, and this part actually in the process. You can see this figure, you will understand this is actually completed part. So if you have not gone to the complete part, you are here to here, you have started but not completed. That's called the cycle time. You have started but you also completed up to last point. That means it's called lead time. But you have not started, just you are in the queue. That's called response time. Not started. If you start, you will be starting from here. So not started, that's called response time. You have started from the queue to the start to the process and ultimately completed, lead time. You were in the queue and started but not completed. That's called cycle time. So by this you can understand what is cycle time, lead time, and response time. Thank you so much.